Hashem b'simcha, yidu et Hashem b'simcha. Yomu lefanav pirnana lefanav pirnana. Yidu et Hashem b'simcha, yidu et Hashem b'simcha. Yomu lefanav pirnana lefanav pirnana. Yalalai, 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 Shabbat Shalom once again, and welcome everyone. Welcome to our home, to our Mikdash Me'at, our small sanctuary. Gosh, it feels like it's been forever since we've been sitting here in our dining room. The last two Shabbatot, we were out in our sukkah, which was really nice to be outdoors and to have a different pace. But now, believe it or not, the holidays are behind us. You know, so many people think about the holidays and they only think Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and it's over. But no, it's Sukkot and Simchat Torah, that whole wonderful season. But now it is behind us. And thank you to everyone who was tuning in. Thank you for all your wonderful comments about our Simchat Torah celebration. For some reason, the favorite character was Miriam. I don't know why, but...
It was wild and zany. If you haven't seen it, go to the YouTube.
It's still there, with me playing 5 biblical characters, including Miriam, fully costumed, and it was a lot of fun. So here we are, and we start this Shabbat together. Did you ever wonder why it is that every Jewish holiday, including Shabbat, begins the day before? Why do all our Chagim and Shabbat begin on the evening before? You know, this is Erev Shabbat. The sun goes down, it's the beginning of our Shabbat. Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, the Erev, the evening is when the holiday begins, and it continues through to the next day. Why is that? Well, thank you for asking. It's connected to the beginning of our Torah. So with Simchat Torah, last week we finished the annual cycle of the reading of Torah, and we started all over again. The first book is, of course, Breshit. The first portion is Breshit, in the beginning, or in a beginning. And the opening chapters talk about the creation of the world. And it describes in detail what was created on each of the 6 days of creation, the 7th day, of course, being the Sabbath. That's what was created that day. And after it says what was created, it says there was evening and there was morning, a new day. And it's from that idea, from that pattern, from the way the Torah establishes it, that we begin all of our Jewish days the night before. So we'd like to sing for you a beautiful, beautiful song that was written by a very good friend of ours, Gordon Lustig, many years ago when we were all together at Camp Swig, and he and I were song leaders together. And it's called Hine Tov Ma'od. The words, I think, are printed in your service.
Page 1.
And it says, Vayhi Erev, Vayhi Voker, there was evening and there was morning. Behold, Hine Tov Ma'od, and behold, it was very good.
In your service, it says Vahi Era Vahi Boker, but we sing Vahi Voker with a V. I just noticed that. But it's very easy. You'll be able to sing along.
It's a 3-part round, but there are only 2 of us, so we'll only do 2 of those parts at the same time. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hinei tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hinei tov me'od. Try it. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hinei tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hinei tov me'od.
First of 3 parts. There was evening, there was morning. Try it. There was evening, there was morning. Second part's a little higher. There was evening, there was morning. Sing it again. There was evening, there was morning. Third part, Vahi Erev, Vahi Erev, Vahi Voker, Vahi Voker, Tov Me'od, Tov Me'od. Try that again. Vahi Erev, Vahi Erev, Vahi Voker, Tov Me'od. Vayar Elohim, Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hinei tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hinei tov me'od. So pick a part or sing it around. There was evening, there was morning. It's all sung twice. There was evening, there was morning. There was evening, there was morning. There was evening, there was Last time. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hinei tov me'od. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa, v'hinei tov me'od. And now those of you at home who have candles, go ahead and light, and we'll join together in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav b'tzivanu
those of you who are able, please rise as we continue on page 2 with Baruch Hu.
Are you listening to my prayer?
So as I mentioned, we started the Torah all over again. And this week we're already in the second parsha, in the story of Noah, the famous story of Noah. You know, the commentary is filled with debate about Noah and his righteousness. Because, well, that's what the Torah says, that he was a righteous man in his time, in his generation. And then go on to argue, maybe if he lived in another time, on a different scale of righteousness, he wouldn't be considered so righteous. And in contrast to Abraham, who we meet next, certainly not as righteous, because, well, think about the story. God tells Noah that he's going to destroy the world, that he needs to build an ark and bring all the animals and his family on the ark, and he's going to start the world all over again with him and his family. And what does Noah say? Nothing. He builds the ark, he brings on the animals, and that's it. Contrast that to the story of Abraham, who, when God says to Abraham, I'm going to destroy the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah because they're a place of wickedness, the people there sin. Abraham argues. He pleads with God. They have this bargaining. If I could find 50 righteous people. Anyway, you know the story. So back to Noah, maybe he wasn't so righteous. There's a wonderful, very famous midrash, and actually they say it in Yiddish, that Noah was a tzaddik impelt, which means a righteous person in a coat. Why a tzaddik impelt? Why in a coat? And the midrash goes on to explain, you know, it's like a person who, when it gets cold, puts on a coat to keep themselves warm, in contrast to a person who, when it gets cold, builds a fire that warms not only that person, but warms everyone around them. Noah was a tzaddik impelt. He was that kind of righteous person who really only looked out for himself and his own family. Yes, Noah escaped the cold, but Abraham spreads and shares the warmth. And it's that kind of righteousness, that kind of righteous person that we should all strive to be. Mi chamocha. service continues with the chanting of the Amidah on page 4, and those who are able, we invite you to join us in rising. Adonai, Sivatai Tivtach, Ufi Agi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai. Shemo be'ahava Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah Atah gibor le'olam Adonai Mechaye hakol Atah rav le'hoshia Mechakel chayim bechesed Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim verofech olim Umatir hasurim Umekayem emunato Lishanei afar Michamocha b'gevurot Umidon melach Melech meimit u'mechayev U'matzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kadoshim b'chol yom Yehalelu chasela Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Shalom Rav, Kol Yisrael Amcha, Ta'asim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Kol Yisrael a great shalom, a great peace, something we all need a little bit more of in our lives. I think you would agree. With all the noise out there, all the dissension, all the tension over everything that's happening, the Shabbat comes and gives us the opportunity, if we will take it, to maybe turn off the TV, don't watch the news, and take a day for ourselves, a day of quiet, a day of rest, a day of peace. Let's take a few quiet moments now that each of us might turn inward to find that sense of peace or to enjoy this beautiful meditation. I know I'm feeling very peaceful now. I want to share with you a story this evening, which is a modern midrash, a commentary, that offers a slightly different take on the story of Noah. I learned it from Rabbi Ed Feinstein, who actually is the cousin of Karma, our temple administrator and educator. The story goes like this. When God created human beings, he gave them the freedom to choose. Now, a dog will always be a dog, and a cat will always be a cat, but a human being can decide to be good or bad, to love or hate, to create or to destroy. But just in time, just before the destruction, God noticed one good man. This man, Noah, was a righteous person, a man worth saving. So God changed the plan. God decided to destroy all the evil and to start the world over again with Noah as its leader. But the truth is that although Noah had much goodness in him, he wasn't ready to teach the world to share God's dream of goodness. There was one lesson that Noah needed to learn first. So God spoke to Noah and he told him to build an ark, Noah followed God's instructions. He built an ark, he gathered the animals, and on the day that the rain started, Noah brought them all on board, and then he closed the ark. He thought that he had fulfilled his mission, but little did he know that his task was just beginning. As soon as the voyage began, Noah's son came running to his father. "Dad, come quick!" He said, "The lion is about to eat the sheep." So Noah hurried to the lion's place, which was on the 4th floor of the ark, and sure enough, there was a lion ready to have a sheep for lunch. "Wait!" screamed Noah. "You can't do that." "What do you mean I can't do that?" roared the lion. "It's lunchtime, isn't it? And I'm hungry. I eat a sheep for lunch every day." "Yes, but not today," Noah explained, trying to reason with the lion. "Today I'm asking you to please not eat the sheep. You see, I only have 2 of them. And if you eat one of them, they won't be able to make any lamps. And so there will be no more sheep on the earth ever again. But it's my nature to kill and eat sheep. I'm a meat eater. That's who I am. And I love eating sheep. That's my favorite meal," said the lion. "Yes, I know," said Noah, "but for now, while we share this ark, you must put that part of yourself away. While we share this ark, you must protect the life of every living thing. You cannot kill any of your fellow passengers." "Then what am I going to eat?" asked the lion. "How about straw?" Noah suggested. "Straw? Yuck!" The lion was truly appalled. "Just until it's over and we get off the ark," said Noah. "In return, I will tell the world of your generosity. And all the world will recognize in you the quality of strength, which is a quality that they regard highly. You will be revered as the king of the beasts if you can do this for just 40 days. Okay, said the lion reluctantly. "I'll have straw for lunch, but remember, it's just for 40 days, no longer." Just then, another one of Noah's sons came running. "Dad, come quick! It's the elephants! They're playing tag! They're gonna capsize the ark! You have to come and stop them." So off went Noah to keep the elephants from capsizing the ark. "But we are playful creatures. It's our nature," said the elephants when Noah asked them to please stop. "How can we stop playing?" "Can you just stop playing until the ark lands? If you do, I will tell the world how wise you are." "Okay," said the elephants. "No more games until we get home. But remember, after that we can play as much as we want," said the elephants. Next was the monkeys, who playfully stole everyone's food and hid it. "It's our nature to steal things. That's how we have fun," they said. "Besides, we were just kidding. We meant no harm." "I understand that," said Noah, "but just until this trip is over, you have to promise me that you won't steal anything. Stealing makes everyone on board feel angry and sets us against one another. Promise me that you won't steal anything till we land, and if you do, I will make sure that the world knows how much laughter you bring to us all." Okay, said the monkeys. "But remember, it's just for 40 days, no longer." The pigs presented a special problem. Pigs make a mess everywhere. They never clean up after themselves. "What can we do?" they pleaded with Noah. "That's just the way we are." "I know that," said Noah, "but please try and just be a little cleaner. Try to practice courtesy, even if it does not come naturally to you. The pigs looked at each other in dismay. Courtesy? We're pigs! Well, but for you, Noah, we will try. But we will be courteous pigs for only 40 days. And so it was with every creature. Every creature needed to learn to give up a piece of its nature in order to live with the others on the ark. The lion had to give up killing, which was not easy. The elephants had to give up playing, which was hard for them to do. The monkeys had to give up stealing. The pigs had to learn courtesy. The mosquitoes, who normally bite and annoy other creatures, had to learn respect of privacy for other creatures. The roosters had to promise not to wake everybody up early in the morning, and the bats had to promise not to frighten everyone by flying around in the middle of the night. Noah was successful with every creature until he came to the most complicated one of all, the human being. People, it seemed, were capable of all the bad behaviors, just like all the other animals. They could kill, play, steal, mess around, and annoy other creatures. But although people can act like the other animals, Noah discovered that they possessed one quality that made them different. Noah could persuade all the other animals to change their way of behaving, but only for 40 days. As soon as the ark landed, the lion went back to eating sheep, the elephant went back to playing around, the monkeys went back to stealing, the rooster went back to waking everybody up at dawn, the bats went back to flying around at night and scaring everyone, and the pigs went back to making messes, because that was their nature. But the human beings were different. You see, people could be more than just people. People have the power to change their nature, not just for 40 days, but forever, if they really want to. People have the capacity to become different than they are. That's the story, as I learned it from Rabbi Feinstein. The point of the story, very simply, is that we humans, we can be worse than all the other animals. We can use our intelligence to commit crimes beyond anything that any of them would dare do. But we humans can also be infinitely better than all the other animals. We can use our intelligence to do good deeds beyond anything that any of them would ever dream of doing, if we only choose. Let me share just a few stanzas from a poem by the great Yiddish poet Aaron Zeitlund, which makes this point about the dual nature of human beings. Tell me not man is beast. Compared to man, beast is an angel. Do beasts build crematoria? Do they hurl children into the fire? Do they take pleasure in death? Tell me not man is beast. Compared to man, beast is an angel. Do beasts use napalm on each other? Do they torture prisoners? Do they kill their own kind? Tell me not man is a beast. Compared to man, beast is an angel. Man robs, wrecks, and ravages. But unlike beast and unlike angel, man can begin over again. Tell me not man is a beast. He is more than an angel. He is willingness to help. He is a creature that can cry, confess, and change. So tell me not what man is. Tell me instead what man can be. Tell me what you would be. And then I will know what man is. The animals on the ark, they changed their nature, but only for 40 days. Then they went back to their old ways. But we, human beings, have been changing back and forth ever since. Sometimes from good to evil, sometimes from evil to good. And this is what makes us so very special among all the creatures that God has made. This is why I believe that we may yet decide to share God's dream, that this can be a good and a clean and a pure earth. And we may yet decide to hold on to that dream, not just for 40 days, but for all our days upon this earth, because we can choose, and so there is hope. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May it be God's will. Amen.
Amen.
That ended on a more serious note than you expected, I'm sure. But there's a deep message there that we should take to heart. And let us turn now to thoughts and prayers for healing in a world that is broken in so many ways, that has so many people who are suffering from the strife and the wars and from illness and COVID-19 among them. This week we are thinking especially of Eliyahu HaKohen Ben Lila, Diane Dakin, Samantha Porteous, Craig Corin, Sally Glick, Randy Watkins, Betty Morgan, Paul Fairbrook, Ron and Margaret Ray, Gabrielle Lopez Smith, Ira Abramson, Bradley Cantor, Lori Silvaggio, Dana Glazier, Jackie Burke, Danny Reichman, Rebecca Williams, Bert Carlson, Ricardo Holbrook, Heidi Krantz, Philip Blair, Andy Bernhard, Jeanette Saphir, Leslie Hirschfield, Christina Vogel, Vivian Culver, Marvin Primack, and Stephen Bonacore. And we invite you to say aloud the names of friends and family for whom you would like to pray the Misha Berach, or hold them in your heart, or share them with us by typing them into the chat. And let us join together now in our Misha Berach prayer for healing. To all those names mentioned aloud and those shared on the chat, all of us who are in need of these same blessings, Refuat HaNefesh and Refuat HaGuf, for healing of mind and body and spirit. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, O God, who heals the sick. Amen.
Amen. Continue with the prayer for our country and the state of Israel on page 7. Guardian of life and liberty, grant
And
blessings to our country. Grant our leaders patience and wisdom. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and may we never be lazy in the work of peace. Eternal God, grant blessings to the state of Israel. Protect your people, shelter them with peace, and grant them deliverance from the violence that surrounds them. May they live in harmony with one another and with their neighbors. May the bonds of faith and faith that unite the Jews of all lands be a source of strength and blessing to each of us and to all the world. And let us say, Amen.
Amen. We continue with Elena.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. We are carrying the stories of the ones who came before. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? We commit ourselves to action. It brings meaning to our days. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. It's up to us to hold the vision. We are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon HaKol, l'Ateit Gedula Yosef Breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechohamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar, v'chaya Adonai lemelech kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. And we remember with love those who are in the Shloshim or the Shana period of mourning. Janet Bullard, Bruce Soretsky, Saul Chadnick, Susanna Lopez, Skip Evie, Harry Harris, Shirley Brecher, Judith Cothran, Evan Stein, Marcia Davidson, Adiel Fischler, Charlotte Constant, Barbara Navarrete, Oren Kabacher, Pablo Carmona Cruz, Jerry Uses, Linda Sue Morgan Ray, Carol Blumenthal, Archie English, Richard Ripkin, Clay Utterback, Andy Heisler, Mel Halpern, Leonard Kolber, Bill Long, John Guerin,
Dennis Willens, Florence Guastav, Sue Solomon, Joan Freer Thor, and Bill Schwartz. Zichronam Livracha, may all their memories be for a never-ending source of blessing. And we remember with love as well those who have a Yortzeit anniversary of their death sometime in the week ahead. Esther Barr, V. Moore, Ross Jones, Leo Goldberg, Herta Rosenthal, Armand Hazan, Sidney Seltzer, Sherman Karish, Al Bramer, Bonnie Holland, Eugene Weisberg, Bess Millett, Harvey Goodman, Sharon Marsh, Harold Peer, William Sherman, Simon Saltzman, and Julius Cohen. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. And we take into our hearts the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust, leaving no one to remember them, and all those who are suffering today from COVID. We take them into our own hearts, along with our loved ones who have died, as we together recite in their memory Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, b'yoma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yom echon, u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha berichu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran b'yoma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, uyasei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace grant peace to those who mourn, and comfort to the bereaved among us. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen.
We want to thank Steve Schermerhorn and Beth Sanders and Vicki Strauss tonight for our instrumental music. Thank you so much. It was beautiful.
Thank you. Beautiful music.
Thank you to Karma for making sure all the communication of our services and our Sidor are with us every week. And thank you to Ari Guastav, who's manning all the computers to make sure that we can be seen and heard, and shaking the egg. Someone asked about that mysterious egg. There it is. And also it's
A simcha.
We're celebrating Noach and
it's Noah Cervelli's bar mitzvah tomorrow in a wonderful Zoom Shabbat service
at 12:30, and we want to say Mazel Tov to him and his parents Wendy and Paul and the whole family.
Weiss Cervelli.
And we're so excited that he'll be celebrating.
And Mazel Tov again to the Kolbers and the Ripkins for a wonderful bar mitzvah last week. Simon Kolber made us all proud.
So we may be shuttered, but life still goes on.
Jewish life continues.
That's right.
And Simcha continues. Happiness and joy.
Osei Shalom.
Say,
Oh, say shalom. In Roma. Oh, say shalom. In Roma.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us.